Contestant number 2, May Ann Lee, Salisbury. Be the chicken. Be the chicken, May Ann Lee, Salisbury.
A few years ago in Oahu, I encountered a chicken who oddly enough was being used as a guard dog. Small and scrawny, he appeared unremarkable. Or was he? The first thing I noticed about him was his intimidating carriage and his fearless gaze at me. The sooner I took a few steps towards him, then that crazy paramilitary chicken launched an offensive attack, gave chase, sending me hightailing it out of there. And I thought, did I just get owned by a chicken? But if, however, we pause and consider the moment thoughtfully, we find wisdom. Albert Einstein said, look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. So, fellow chicken whisperers, Madam Toastmaster, what wisdom can we glean from the audacity of a crazy bird? 3 words: be the chicken. With conviction and courage, we have in ourselves truly the power to overcome hopeless circumstances, humble expectations, and insurmountable challenges. Like Lola, my grandmother, my heroine who exemplifies that virtue. She was a young mother struggling to survive with her baby in war-torn Philippines during World War II. She witnessed the most heartbreaking brutalities. Her friends bayoneted, her family, my family, tortured, her home seized, her farm pillaged. Lola was left with nothing. Survival became so dire, her young brother resorted to salvaging scrap metal for exchange for bits of food, but horrifically deteriorated when one of the metal he found turned out to be unexploded ordnance. 2 things now stood between Lola and starvation: her resilience and her dexterity with thread and needle. Because there was no fate, no destiny that could thwart the firm resolve of a woman determined to save her family. The parallel I drew between her and the chicken was how the world considered their worth unforgivingly. One, nothing but a seamstress with no education. The other, a creature synonymous with the word coward. And yet, both of them demonstrated to us that persevering faithfully through your pain and suffering shall be the true measure of your character. Be inconceivable. Be the chicken. Lola strove to survive, but Lolo also struggled as a POW. Life as a POW was a continuous cycle of deprivation and merciless torture. But then one day, he made a daring escape. Consumed with the overwhelming desire to be rejoined with his family, Lolo made the arduous journey back to Lola. He trekked hundreds of miles on foot, braving the elements of unforgiving jungles and land occupied by enemies. back to northern Luzon, where the Aboriginal Ifugao villagers, legendary as headhunters, had secretly sheltered his family. My lolo succeeded in reaching them, but at a monumental cost. He appeared deathly frail, emaciated beyond recognition, every inch of him covered with disease and ticks. Aghast at his appearance and so convinced were they of his imminent death, the villagers dug his grave already and implored, "Kui, just go lie down in it now and spare your wife the heartache of seeing you suffer." Louis Nizer once said, "There is no higher fortitude than stubbornness in the face of overwhelming odds." So Lolo defiantly said, "Not today." He willed himself to recover, returned to the battlefield, and served in the crucial role of guerrilla scout for the Allied forces, ultimately earning him the commendable valor and awarded by none other than Douglas MacArthur. From POW to death's door to war hero, now do you get it? Be defiant and be the chicken. In closing, I know my stories today were about struggles against forces bigger than us. But in truth, our greatest foe is ourselves. If we learn to quell our fears, then no matter what opposes us at every stride, whatever the challenge, we know we can overcome. As Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So believe in yourself and be, yeah, bravo. Madam Toastmaster on.
Thank you.